Hi everyone, Dr. Catalana here. The purpose of this presentation is to provide a quick overview of your syllabus. Since this is a condensed course that I offer during the summer session, I always like to post this video to make sure I'm addressing some of the most common questions that I receive at the start of the semester. So of course at the top here you'll see my contact information. One thing I do want to highlight here is both my cell number and my Winthrop email. Particularly during the summer session, I really prefer to conduct office hours via phone rather than emailing back and forth. The main reason for that is if we talk over the phone, I can give you immediate feedback versus if we go back and forth on the email even 4 or 5 times in a day, it's taking longer for me to actually answer your question. So what I've posted here are my virtual office hours. That means I'm by my phone during those hours. If I don't answer, I'm most likely on another call, so I will call you back. Or if you have kind of a more lengthy question, I often have students email me and ask for a time to set up a phone call. Of course, you're free to call me, or you're free to email me quick questions. But if it starts to go on for too long, I like to request a phone call to make sure I'm being clear. If these times do not work for you, please let me know. I'm happy to schedule outside of those hours. So here's your course description, your student learning outcomes. I won't read those right now. Do want to highlight that there is no required textbook for this course, so everything you need will be posted on Blackboard for you. Okay, a few things on class policies and procedures. So one thing to note under teaching methods is that I run the course from a Monday to Sunday schedule. That does not mean that you have required work to complete over the weekend. It just means I like to provide the weekend for you to do work because I know several of you are working full-time in conjunction with taking the course. At the start of each week, I post a welcome announcement as well as a quick welcome video. This basically just allows me to introduce the content for the week and help you guys get started and make sure we're all on the same page. So make sure that you do take the time to watch those quick videos. Okay, other things related to class procedures. Do make sure that you're logging onto the class Blackboard page frequently. I recommend at least 2 or 3 times a week just to make sure that you're staying on top of the work and also that you're collaborating with your fellow classmates. A lot of the time we will be doing online discussions, and the more that you post, the more we interact, the more impactful those discussions will be. Something kind of related to that is this sentence down here. You are expected to participate weekly. I really do not suggest that you work ahead. And actually, in the sense of when I post work, I like to post one learning module at a time. The reason for that is I typically will adjust some of the teaching based on your previous work and based on kind of where the class is and what they're interested in. And you really will gain more if you're able to interact with your fellow classmates. Okay, please make sure you're only using your Winthrop email. If you use another email account to contact me, it just is not as dependable, so that's really for your benefit. In terms of late assignments, I do accept late assignments, but for 1/4 of the total value for each day that you're late. Of course, we are all human, so if there's something going on, please make sure to talk to me beforehand, and I'd be happy to work with you. Okay, let's see. Let's scroll down to what you're probably most interested in, and that would be what you are required to do for class. Okay, so this quick table is a breakdown of your assignments for the course. You'll see that pretty much everything is weighted evenly. This 70 is just because you have 7 discussion board posts and they are worth 10 points each. The only assignment that is more heavily weighted is your final special topics project, and we will discuss that in detail later. We will have one required synchronous discussion session. I like to offer 2 opportunities for that. So those dates are already posted on your schedule that I'll get to in a moment. And those are just kind of online face-to-face sessions where we're able to be together in real time. If you're not super familiar with the online teaching lingo, a synchronous discussion just means that we're logged in at the same time of day versus an asynchronous discussion, which is how I run the remainder of the course. Okay, so here's your grading scale. I've posted the percentages for each letter grade, and then in parentheses, these are the total points that you would be working toward. If you are, and since we have a graduate course, of course it's important to know that a grade of B- or higher is required to earn credit toward your graduate degree. So let's talk about submitting your assignments. So all of your assignments are submitted through Blackboard. Please do not email me your assignments. It will be quite hard for me to fix in Blackboard, and it's really easy to lose student submissions if they're emailed to me. So I do my best to make your due dates as repetitive as possible so you kind of know what to expect each week. So each week, the way the course is designed, you'll have both a discussion board post and then you'll have an assignment or an activity. The only week it's not set up like that is this first and second week because I like to spread out the material so you get used to how things work. So with your discussion board posts, it's kind of a two-part assignment. So you're submitting your initial post, which is the bulk of the work, as well as responding to at least 2 of your classmates' posts. So that initial post is always due Friday of each week, so the end of day Friday, and your reaction to your classmates' post is always due by Sunday of that week. Again, you do not have to wait until Friday. I often have students who will post their initial discussion board post by Tuesday and then respond to their classmates by maybe Thursday. And I can tell those students want to have their work done within the week and not work on the weekend. In terms of assignments, like your activities, everything else will be due Sunday. Okay, so discussion board posts, initial post Friday, responses Sunday night. Everything else, unless I've specifically said on your syllabus, will be due Sunday. And again, that's to give you the weekend in case you need it. One thing that we'll touch more on probably next week is the importance of APA style. So for your discussion board posts, it's very important that you are citing sources to back up your arguments. So I do require you to cite those sources in APA formatting. If you're not familiar with that, then I've posted a helpful website here. Okay, so then I have this section that describes your assignments. I'm not going to read through this right now, but if you're interested kind of what the semester looks like, I did write a quick paragraph about what these assignments require you to do. I also will post a very detailed rubric along with each assignment so you know exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, so there's kind of your overview of your assignments, and the very last portion of the syllabus is, of course, your course calendar. I do want to highlight that this is tentative. It is likely to change. However, I do my best to give you as many dates, as many details as possible up front because I know we are all busy, and particularly in the midst of where we are in the world right now. It's very helpful to have a plan. So again, unless otherwise noted, your initial discussion board posts are due by Friday. Responses to discussion board posts and any other assignments are due by Sunday. Within your schedule, I went ahead and bolded anything that needs to be submitted on Blackboard. So for this first week, we will be mainly working on course introductions, making sure you understand how the course is set up, and we'll start our first learning module on understanding giftedness and talent. So this very first week, if I were you as the student, the first thing I want to look at are what's bolded, because that will show me what do I need to actually submit in Blackboard. So I see I have an introductory discussion post. That's a discussion post, so I know its first initial post is due by Friday, so that's Friday, June 12th. And then I know I need to respond to at least 2 of my classmates by Sunday, and there's your Sunday, June 14th. In addition to doing your introductory post this week, I'm asking you to begin learning Module 1. and that is by completing the Myths and Reality survey. This is a really interesting survey that asks some basic questions about gifted and talented education, and I'll have you kind of reflect on which questions you answered correctly and incorrectly, and how that kind of makes you interested for the rest of the semester. All of your other weeks will definitely be set up the same way. So you'll see there is one more assignment for this first week, and that's to do this diversity and gifted education survey. That's an activity, that's an assignment, so that will be due Sunday. Okay, so again, as you're looking at your schedule, just look out for the bold, because that will show you what you need to input on Blackboard. Then you'll see for week 2, we'll continue learning Module 1, have our first discussion board post. Then we'll go on to the remainder of our learning modules. So from there, we'll look at characteristics and needs of gifted learners, if gifted education is a right or privilege. That will bring us into gifted education programming. My favorite learning module on the invisible gifted, where we will explore issues of underrepresentation. Then we'll wrap up with creativity, and the final portion of the class allows you to do an independent project on something that we've studied in class that you're really interested in and want to know more about. And that's it. It's a quick course. There's a lot here, but again, I have it set up in a way that is hopefully most helpful for you. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me, and I look forward to working with you guys.